Welcome back once again to another dive into the world of the SCP Foundation. Today, we'll be exploring how the Foundation uses memory manipulation to suit their own needs.
What exactly are we diving into here?
We're exploring a fascinating case study involving a mysterious object called SCP-8115, a book with the power to transport people's consciousness into their own memories. It's being used by an organization called the Fire Suppression Department to experiment on one of their researchers, Jake Granger.
That sounds like something straight out of science fiction. But I'm guessing there are some very real implications we can draw from this story.
Absolutely. While the technology is fictional, the ethical dilemmas and psychological impacts are very much grounded in reality. Jake's experiences touch on universal themes of grief, institutional control, and the power of memory in shaping our identities.
So, how exactly does this memory book work? And what kind of experiments are they conducting on Jake?
Well, when opened, the book transports the reader's consciousness into a realm connected to their memories. They're guided through this space by an entity that takes the form of an object they have a close connection to. In Jake's case, a teddy bear. Over 3 sessions, Jake revisits pivotal moments in his life, from a happy childhood birthday to the devastating news of his mother's illness.
That's fascinating. It's almost like a form of immersive therapy, right? But I'm guessing there's a darker side to all this.
You're exactly right. While the technology has potential therapeutic applications, in this case, it's being used manipulatively. The Fire Suppression Department is using these sessions to gather information about Jake's vulnerabilities, which they then exploit to keep him working for them.
So what happened when he opened the book?
When he opens the book, his consciousness is transported to this place the Foundation calls SCP-8115-1. It starts by mirroring his surroundings, where he's sitting, but then it shifts, transforms into this vast, desolate desert landscape. It's like a gateway to specific memories, but he's not alone. He encounters this entity the Foundation calls SCP-8115-2, which acts as a guide in this memory realm.
What's the first memory Jake relives?
His childhood birthday party. Imagine the smell of cake, the sounds of laughter, the warmth of his family around him. So it's pretty nice, actually, especially compared to a sterile Foundation facility. And that's what makes it so powerful. It's like this escape from the harsh reality of his current life. The caretaker, in its teddy bear form, guides him through it all, prompts him to reflect on his feelings, especially toward his mother. He mentions feeling this eternal bliss, an unrelenting calm.
That's quite the contrast. Definitely feels like it would be nostalgic.
He notes that his family has grown distant since then and hasn't spoken to his father in a long time. It suggests that his dedication to the Foundation, his pursuit of knowledge and security, might have come at a cost. The cost of his personal relationships.
A classic dilemma, I guess. Sacrificing your personal life for your career.
Let's dive into memory number 2. This time, the book takes him right back to his college dorm room. He was studying biology back then. The memory is just brimming with his incredible energy, the thrill of late-night study sessions, and the excitement of discovery.
Wow. It sounds like a completely different Jake from the burned-out researcher we see now.
Totally. And get this, the caretaker, still in his teddy bear form, seems super interested in this period of his life. It keeps asking him why he chose this path, what drove his ambition.
Almost like it's searching for something. Some kind of explanation for Jake's current disillusionment.
It really makes you question whether this entity is actually benevolent or just another tool the Foundation's using for its own ends. But before we go too far down that rabbit hole, the memory takes a sharp, dark turn. Jake suddenly finds himself reliving the moment he received the news about his mother's illness, her terminal illness.
That must have been crushing to have all that youthful energy and optimism just shattered like that. It's hard to even imagine going from the highs of those college days to such a devastating loss.
Yeah, and he describes it as a physical blow. The joy and excitement from just moments before, completely gone, replaced with this overwhelming wave of grief.
It's just disturbing to think that the Foundation would subject him to this, forcing him to relive such a traumatic experience. Were they so focused on their goals that they completely disregarded the potential psychological harm?
It's a chilling thought, isn't it? But remember, this is just the second memory. We still have one more journey to go through. And based on what we've seen so far, I have a feeling it's going to reveal the true depths of the Foundation's manipulation. The next memory takes Jake back to his office at the Foundation. The way he describes it, cold, sterile, lifeless, almost like a reflection of his own emotional state at the time. It's the memory of Jake being denied time off to attend his mother's funeral. The Foundation actually deemed his work too important to allow him to grieve.
To prioritize research over basic compassion, it's just inhumane. No wonder Jake's struggling with burnout.
The caretaker's reaction to this memory is especially interesting. It just looks at Jake and asks, "Why are you still here?"
Almost like a challenge, right? Like, it's forcing him to confront the reality of his situation, the toxicity of the environment he's trapped in.
Exactly. Then it tells Jake that the only memory that truly brought him joy was the first one, his childhood birthday party, before the Foundation was a part of his life. The implication being that his current path, his devotion to the Foundation, is the source of his misery, not fulfillment.
So we've seen Jake relive 3 very distinct memories. The joy of his childhood, the devastating loss that shaped him, and the coldness of the Foundation that's exploiting him. What's the Foundation's ultimate goal with all of this?
That's where things get even more disturbing. Remember, the Foundation had an agenda going into these experiments. It wasn't just about understanding Jake's memories. They wanted to find a way to control him.
So all this was just an elaborate scheme to manipulate him, like some kind of psychological experiment gone wrong.
It does seem that way, and in a twisted sense, they succeed. These experiments, as cruel as they were, provided the Foundation with valuable intel. They learn about Jake's deep attachment to his family, especially his father, who's battling memory loss. And that's where they see an opportunity to exploit this vulnerability.
What did they do?
They implement something called the Distant Memories Directive, which targets not Jake, but his father.
His father. What does he have to do with any of this?
Remember, Jake's father is already suffering from memory loss. The Foundation sees this as a chance to further isolate Jake to make him more dependent on them.
So they're not content with manipulating Jake. Now, they're going after his family too. This just gets worse and worse.
The Distant Memories Directive involves using amnestics, those drugs that can alter or even erase memories. They plan to use them on Jake's father to wipe away any positive memories he might have of Jake.
So they're basically trying to rewrite his reality, making him more reliant on the Foundation for care and companionship. Ugh, that's incredibly messed up, but effective.
It is. And then, as if things couldn't get any worse, the Foundation's Human Resources Department comes in with an offer. They dangle this promotion in front of Jake, Assistant Site Director, a huge jump in rank and responsibility. They offer him a higher salary, guaranteed care for his father in a Foundation-run facility, access to top-tier medical resources, all contingent on him accepting the promotion and continuing his work for the Foundation, specifically on projects related to SCP-8115.
So classic carrot and stick dangle the promise of security and well-being while subtly reminding him of the consequences if he steps out of line. So what does Jake do?
They've created a situation where there are no good options, only varying degrees of compromise and sacrifice. According to the file, Jake accepts the promotion, becomes assistant site director. It seems like he traded his own happiness for his dad's care.
It's a rough trade-off, to basically become part of the very system that hurt him. It really makes you think about free will in an organization like the Foundation. Is there even a choice when all the options they give you are designed to trap you?
It's another example of how the Foundation thinks the ends justify the means, even if it means hurting people. It's a bleak ending. Makes you think, what does it even mean to be human? In a world where your memories can be changed or erased, can we even trust our own experiences when someone can just rewrite them?
Yeah, it really highlights how knowledge can be used for good or for bad. Even when you're trying to protect people, the Foundation might say they want to help humanity, but their methods, well, sometimes they're pretty messed up. So what can we learn from Jake's story? What does it tell us about the world? You know, a world where big institutions have so much power and control over information.
Maybe it's a warning telling us to be careful and to question the people in charge, to appreciate our own memories, our own experiences, because those memories make us who we are. But I think it's time we come back up from this deep dive. But the exploration doesn't stop here. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, the truth is out there, even if you don't remember.